The 7.2 update is coming on Tuesday, so we're going to do a quick check-in on what's coming with some notes for hitting the ground running. That and more on this episode of the SWTOR Escape podcast from newoverlords.com. Our broadcast astromech today is EPC 449. And playing alongside me, that's not usually what I say, and with me, and playing alongside me, and here tonight, and to my left is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
I'm actually to your right, but yes. At least in the game.
Widdershins across the crust of the surface of the planet Earth.
That's right.
You, the way you Earthlings cause the direction to go. Yeah. Okay. So, how you been? And what are you doing?
Oh no, keep going with it. Things are going well. I'm kind of looking forward to 7.2, this is a good time to be looking forward to it because it's coming soon, like next Tuesday. I know I've mentioned this before, but it's not only the delete tool that I'm looking forward to. It's also going to be, I think it's going to be very satisfying to see Shayvizla finally have her battle with Hedakol. I mean, I hope that happens this time. Like, I hope we don't get like a story beat and it's going to happen the next time. But, you know, you never know.
Well, we'll show spoilers, but we're going to show the little bit of the preview trailer, and it showed them
It
crossing
seems like,
blades.
I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable for me to think it's coming.
No.
But anyway, and we're getting a new planet, too.
Yes.
And then we're getting...
how we pronounce it? Runuk?
I'm open to being corrected.
Runuk. I think I'm going to say Runuk.
I'm going to call it Runic because, yeah, Runic.
Runuk. I'm going to say Ruanuk. That's how I'm going to say it.
So we're also going to, next week when 7.2 drops, the whole next tier, or I don't know if tier is the right word for this, but the next like chunk of gear upgrades is coming. So I have read several things about it, and actually it's at some point it's just like words. I don't get it anymore. So I'm hoping that when I go and talk to hide and seek on the fleet, I'll go, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, well, with some exceptions, in the meantime, I haven't been spending like my R4 currency or tokens, or I did spend all my tech fragments and my daily resource matrices and my the conquest. I don't know if that was bright. I was just cleaning up, right? Just doing my weekly like cleanup. And then I thought, oh, maybe I'll want those next week. But that's fine. They're easy to get back.
Right.
So I'm kind of looking for some closure there around how the gear things are going to work. I if it's like the last time, I understand the general flow.
Right. And we'll talk about it a little bit in the segment too.
Yeah. So so we MFN this week we did we surprised ourselves when we did Hive of the Mountain Queen. We thought we were going to get 1 point for Galactic Seasons, and we got all 3.
Right. We completed that objective in 1 for the people that were in there doing it. And then we did it again tonight for a couple people that missed out on Tuesday. And yeah, done in 1 on that. And that's not what the objective says. In fact, it's not what the objective says at all. The objective says that that's not supposed to be.
So we went and did Taboros Courtyard first, thinking that would be 1. And then we were going to do Hive of the Mountain Queen, thinking that was going to be another 1. In fact, Taboros Courtyard was 0. Well, I think some of us got 1 for Taboros Courtyard.
But only half the people out of 16.
Yeah. And then we went and did Hive of the Mountain Queen and got 3 points, which we were not considering the lair boss on Zyos because, I don't know, this is our very casual group. And we've been in there. Yeah. We've been in there to look at it before, but we haven't really.
We could do it with our ops team because we've done it with that team plenty of times. But to bring a brand new group of people that have never seen it and try to just like real quick get the monolith done.
Right. I mean, I think it'd be worth doing, but like it would be like an MFM where that was the activity of the night. We're gonna go there.
Yeah. Yeah, we
wipe
we
a few times.
It's just not a 5-minute thing.
Right. But I do like that fight.
The objective in season objectives is called Heart of Ruin, which would make you think that we should be doing Hive of the Mountain Queen because that's Heart of Ruin, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah.
The
Well, I don't know.
text says do the Colossal Monolith for bonus points.
But it was a pleasant surprise. So that
Yeah.
was like one Galactic Seasons,
Where's that? I don't know.
target that just met right out. I mean, because I was already thinking, well, we'll do a couple tonight, and then I'll pug a couple, one or two later in the week. But that didn't have to happen. Um, in fact, GS Galactic Seasons in general is almost done now. Well, I've got 4 of 7, but the rest are almost done. Like, I'm gonna do Liabilities of Quesh, which are the 4 name things, which um while I was waiting around for Ops to start, I went and killed one of them, so I'd have 3 more to
Okay.
do. I'm gonna do Playing the Game, because that's turning in rep. You're gonna do that anyway.
Yep.
And oh, and Fielding Loyalty, which is 15 missions on a trooper or an agent,
You
which I
gonna do
have
some
like
dailies or something?
I've gotten 10
Okay.
somehow
So you could do
already, so
CZ
I just need
198 and you'd get it done.
yeah, exactly. Which is exactly what I'll probably do, because then I'll get some Congress points, et cetera, et cetera. So
Yeah.
that's pretty easy. And then tonight for ops, like you said, we did Hive of the Mountain Queen, and then we did Nightmare, not Nightmare. I have to call it Master Mode. Nephra.
Yep. We'll talk about
Um,
why, but that's part of that getting the gear.
yeah, yeah.
We just wanted an extra spare piece of ricotta sitting around 330 ricotta. We'll get to
And then
that.
we ran around and killed some world bosses to finish up that quest a couple times.
Yeah, just the world boss weekly.
So yeah, low pressure night. Um, as opposed to like trying to progress in R4, which would have been a more opsy night.
Well, especially since we
Um,
were missing our second
or
tank,
yeah, yeah,
Debs. We didn't want to do without him.
yes, yes. And we had a very capable tank in Stask,
Hmm.
but we didn't want to put him through the R4
Right.
thing. Um, so yeah, yeah. So yeah, next Tuesday, 7.2.
Yep.
So what have you been up to, Max?
I am still going after the 12-point objectives in Galactic Seasons, and this week it's both PvP and GSF. I've only done a couple of each because they were giving me headaches in doing them so far, but I'll finish them up.
Wait, what do you mean they were giving you headaches? Like actual headaches?
Oh no, I actually almost finished the GSF one. PvP, I did 2 PvP matches this morning and lost both of them. It was not very balanced, and that made me sad. So I cried myself to sleep on my pillow and only left off at 2 out of 8 on that one. You get double progress for wins. If I'm gonna have to lose 8 war zones, it's not gonna feel very good.
But sometimes in
But I
life,
spread it
walking
out.
away is the right move.
Yeah,
Come
and
back later,
doing 2 still
fresh
completes
mind.
the daily. So I completed the Warzone daily. Even though I lost 2, I completed the daily and got 2 out of 8 progress. I'm a quarter done with the objective. Yeah, I'll play it tomorrow morning. It's usually a little bit more relaxed in the mornings. I'll play it, play a couple. If the way I usually do it is I'll play 2 to see if I can complete the daily. If I win the last one, I'll keep playing until I lose or complete the season. So I could get it done tomorrow. If not, I'll just do some tomorrow and on Saturday and Sunday, and then I'll be done. But the GSF, because it was medals, I did get this one actually pretty quick. I got a couple good rounds. I think it was 2 deathmatch and 2 domination with the satellites. The domination ones with the satellites, I can just rack up the medals, so that was nice. I think one of the death matches, I got 1 medal that counted because you get like 4 or 5 medals, but it's only the capture, defensive, and damage medals that matter, and you don't get capture and defensive medals in deathmatch. So getting like 1 medal in a deathmatch match versus getting like 7, I can rack up like 7 or 8 in a domination match. It's I'm much happier when I queue up and it's a domination match when I'm trying to get medals. So I prefer medals as the objective typically because you have a little bit more control. But 25 medals is quite a bit. And if you're only getting like 1 or 2 on a domination match, that could be a long haul as well. So I'll get those 2 done. We got Hive of the Mountain Queen done, and I think that's all the 12-point ones that I need to worry about. I'll get the PvP one done, and I do have to do the Flashpoint one. We did post this in Discord on Tuesday. We got help from both is it Intisar? Cal, Today and Tour. Cal from Today and Tour in our New Overlords Discord said, go do Dantooine, Secrets of the Enclave. And then Medulla in our AIE Discord said, go do Dantooine, Secrets of the Enclave. That's the one that you could do and get bonus bosses and get it all done just by doing one flashpoint. So that's what I will do. I will go solo Dantooine, Secrets of the Enclave, which is a good flashpoint, including this sound clip from that flashpoint. Bet you didn't see this coming. That's where that's from. So we love that one. So I will go do that. And that's about it. You know, our Ops Nights and MFN and all of that kind of fun stuff. Oh, I also finished Andor. So my son was in town. I was kind of waiting to do it with some of the fam. My son was in town. I hear my voice echoing back a tiny bit, Seema.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
my son was in town, so we actually did a little bit of a marathon for about the last. I think we did 4 episodes last night to finish Andor. Very, very pleased with that series. Wow, wow! In terms of the writing, the acting, the editing, editing and flow and cinematography, the themes, the tension that they build. It's just everything. I wish the movies could have been that way. It would have been a whole different universe that we're in right now. It's much less. There's elements of the movies that are still designed, I think, like for like to be like a kid, be like a young adult type movie. Andor is less of that. So there's definitely it's definitely tuned for a slightly different audience, I guess. So maybe the movies need to be what the movies are, and we can have content like Andor be what it is and be really happy with it. And I am. So that was amazing. Yeah, I don't want to get spoilery, but I could have a whole side discussion on where that's at. And then yes, there's a the big game awards tonight. I've only been watching the results on Twitter. I will follow up. We'll probably talk about it a little bit in our Discord, especially from the context of behind the games and maybe what the games we should be excited about or want to go after for interviews. But I didn't realize that ever got as big as it is. So that was fun too. And we see that there's a Star Wars game that will be coming out, the Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the follow up to the Jedi Cal and his Jedi adventures. I think that's what that one was called. Happy Fun Jedi Time. I think that was the name of that one. But yeah, we're
I
getting
think you're right.
the sequel to that, which Jedi Survivor, which should be pretty cool. Great to see more Star Wars game content. So enough of that kind of news. Let's look up a little bit of our SWTOR news.
Now an Imperial News Network report.
We did get Galactic Season Objective calendar for what's going to be coming for the whole next month, all the way through the first week of January. So that is in the dev tracker. If you want to find that, check it out. It's a good rundown of all of like those season objectives. We do pay attention to the season objectives. You see how much I pay attention to it and figuring out which ones I want to do and how I want to go after it. This now will give you the roadmap for the month, which is kind of nice. So check that out if you are up for that.
And also we got some feedback from Bryant Wood responding to feedback, basically saying what he heard. He said he passed on all the points that people made about balance and difficulty, and he's looking to address these 3 things: gear from story mode, allowing a smoother transition into veteran mode. So that issue was mostly that in story mode, you get story mode gear, and it doesn't help you in vet mode. So maybe that means they're going to make it so you get something more towards the vet mode level gear before you have to go into vet mode. And increase the accessibility of rare drops based on effort. So I don't know what that means, but the way I read that is they heard people complaining that the rare drops are too rare.
Yes, and I could see
And
that.
then
I mean,
adjustments in the way the vanity armor sets are obtained. So like maybe because like right now, if it's like the hazardous set is the one for me, I think it's the gear part of it. It costs the tokens that you get in the operations. So maybe they're going to change. They'll drop themselves, or the tokens will drop more often, or something.
or
I
they'll
don't
be
know. But
cheaper in the number of
I mean,
tokens so that you
like just
can
to be clear, I'm guessing because he didn't say what they were doing. He was just saying what they heard.
got it. Great to see the feedback from Bryant Wood. Great to see Bryant engaging. Did notice when I was looking through the rest of that thread, and every place I hear any feedback on R4, the feedback is wildly different from different points of view. So you're saying from a certain point of view. Uh,
Yeah.
like you'll get a chunk of people that say, all of R4 is much too difficult. You get a chunk of people saying vet mode R4 is practically a double nightmare. It's super difficult. And then you'll get people saying vet mode R4 isn't very hard. They should make harder content for people that really want to do hard content. Why don't they do that? And
Yeah.
all of those comments will be right next to each other in every thread, in every discussion. So
But one
tough.
comment in particular in this thread that I really liked, in spite of the sort of off-putting language and the way he put it, though, he's basically saying those of us who play at a higher level, we don't care if everyone else gets higher gear. So, we're fine with that. In fact, it's going to make it easier for us when we have to pull a pug in, or if we decide to pug on the fleet ourselves. It's great for everyone to have better gear. So it's at least he was not saying I earned it. You guys can go sit in a corner.
Yeah. I think that's a great perspective to have.
Yeah. It's like win-win-win if everyone starts to get better gear.
Right. And let's see. Also in the notes, we did get an update, another fun discussion. I don't know if I even want to get into this. I had some really good side discussions on our PvP, the PvP episode that we put out. Continue to get great feedback from that, and I like it. I like the feedback and the points of view. I think some people think that Seam and I are coming at it from the perspective of we're fine with ranked going away, and we're not. And we started the segment saying that it's sad that it's going away, and it's sad for anybody that was their game and they're losing it. And we ended with that. So we bookended with that point of view on both sides. So, but that aside, that just talking through some of the points back and forth was perfectly fine. Eric is also responding to that to some degree. You can read through this update. I don't think this clarifications are going to be all that interesting to anybody that was a ranked player, because they're not going to say, okay, well now this makes me happy. Ranked is gone. No, it's not going to. That's not going to help. But it does clarify for some of the people that are wondering, maybe from the outside, why some of this is happening. One thing though I saw though that caught my eye was he does say, here are the goals, the three main goals that we want to achieve with this revamp. And I did see a couple people taking this as analysis of these are the reasons that they're making a change. And it's not. Goals for what they want to get done with the revamp is not the same as reasons that they need to do a revamp. And we haven't gotten all of their reasons. We've speculated on some. We can also come to a conclusion on what some of them are from looking at the goals. There's going to be correlation there, but we don't have a full and complete picture, and I'm sure it's complicated. I disagree with the people that when they do give some rationale, or you're looking at some of these goals, or when they say some side commentary like, hey, having to deal with, win trading and investigation on cheating and that kind of thing was a lot of work for us. And then people reply with, you're a bunch of lying liars who lie. That isn't, I don't think that's a good assessment. They don't have to lie. they could say whatever they want. They could say nothing. They could say, "Hey, here's the goals and this is what we're going for." And they wouldn't have to they don't need to explain themselves. They're a AAA studio. They're developing a thing. They feel they need to make this change. They're not lying to you. I- there was enough that there were extra instances documented on Twitter, Twitch streams and in videos that they did not take action on. Why they did not take action on those, we don't know the whole reasons behind those either. But calling them liars, well, I mean, fine. Maybe you still think that they're lying liars who lie. Great. I don't know why that you're taking time to put that assessment out into the world. It does no use. Does no good. And I don't think it is valuable feedback to say BioWare is a bunch of lying liars who lie. They don't need to lie. Why would they lie? Anyway,
They could just, yeah, right. Yeah.
they they would either just not say anything, or just say the parts that they want to say out loud and not say the other parts. Anyway, little bit of an update there from Eric. Again, I don't think it's going to be all that interesting to ranked players. To again, it's not going to make anybody say, "Oh, well, now
Well,
you've
now I get
convinced
it.
me."
Yeah,
Now you've
right,
convinced
right.
me that the thing I like to do, I'm glad I don't get to do it anymore. No, it's still going to be a jagged pill to swallow. So, unfortunately.
So,
One good thing though in there is, potentially a bone or something to think about. Although we'll be able to, when nothing else happens 2 seasons from now, then you'll be able to call them a liar again. But he said, this is season 1 of the PvP revamp. They know it won't be perfect. It gives us an opportunity to maybe change things more in the future. Let's look for that. Let's see how this 7.2 stuff works out. Let's see what else we could potentially do in the future. Let's keep that feedback coming. Let's see how we can, within the context of these goals and where the direction that they like this to go, see what else that they can do. Yeah. So something. Sorry. Go ahead, Seema. That's more than I wanted to
well,
do on that, but
yeah. Okay, so I was just going to go on to the next thing, which
yes.
was um, a post with a quote from Ashley about dead companions showing up in marketing um, material. And it was kind of, it started by someone who was saying, well, do you guys play your own game? Because didn't you notice that for some people, Torian is dead? And her response to that is yes. We're very aware that, but that the players have made choices that affect their story. But we choose to include those characters sometimes in the marketing material for reasons, because there is no one true version of SWTOR's narrative, which is completely different from when Theron, for instance, pops into your character's
Yes.
cutscene when your character has killed them.
Yeah.
So don't confuse it with that.
Right.
It's sort of like, I kind of view it like how when you're looking at the marketing material, it's always this one Jedi who's like the main character.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like me saying, well, this is true because the main character is a mercenary.
Right. Exactly.
So that's one thing. And then one guy commented too that he's like, I'm sorry, I just can't watch the marketing material because it's wrong because it has dead people in it. Well, okay. All right. But no, it's not wrong. It's one of the variations.
Right.
So
It is. It's that
I mean, they
Schrodinger's
could show
universe.
just like
There is
an outline
there
of
is a
of a
galaxy,
person.
right? There's a galaxy where that does exist, and it may also be on one of your alts. It exists that way. It may be on a character you've yet to roll and choices you've yet to make. That it's a reality. They can't. They
And then
can't.
somebody also commented that they were glad to have a little warning because now they know they should level up one of their characters that still has Torian. And I'm like, no, it's not that either.
No, yeah,
You
no,
don't have to have Torian. That's not what they're
right,
saying. They're saying this is how it looks for characters who have Torian, not that
right,
everyone has to have Torian, or that You better be careful because like now there's going to be a story with Senya in it, and you better make sure she's not dead. You better have a character where she's not, or whatever.
Right.
No, it's they're showing you one possible
Right.
version of it, and actually to make it clearer, maybe they could show multiple.
Or just yeah. Or just have Doctor Strange in the beginning opening a window into a multiverse
Yeah,
universe
right.
where this is the state of it. It would be really difficult, and we had this conversation with Ashley. You can look up on our YouTube channel. We interviewed Ashley and we talked about this kind of thing, and she had some really really salient points of view on what choices that matter really mean. It means it in the moment for you as a player, not across everyone's, not across some Wikipedia entry of everything everywhere all at once. So I also though, from a marketing key art trailer perspective, they've done a pretty good job. There bugs come up and you'll get Theron popping into your screen and that's a bug and they need to fix that. But they've done a pretty good job of keeping all of these storylines, this hash of Schrodinger's universe of who's alive and who's dead, working at the individual character story level. To have to only show characters that are alive in everyone's possible story, and only elements of the story that are true for everyone in everyone's version of reality would really be constraining. So like if they have to like show if they want to like show the emperor, the Sith emperor in some trailer preview or something, they got to show somebody. So they can either just constrain themselves and say, well, we never get to show an emperor again. We never get to show, we can't ever show Vet or Torian, or list all these characters that they could never show. That would be just really really constraining. So think of it as multiverse. It's a fun little thing, and you're getting to see a window into a multiverse version of.
I mean, as you can tell, we sort of made our peace with this issue because for a while we were agitating for them to like have the stories converge into one story, and now we're just like, go with it.
Yeah. A bunch of conversation going on in the chat room. You'll have to look look that up on Twitch. It's complicated. That your character story will still be coherent. None of this is saying that that because they decided to put it into some marketing trailer, that now Torian is going to come back to life in your character's story. No, they're going to continue to maintain that coherency of your
Yes.
character's universe.
Some other character will have his role in your
For
version
you,
of the story.
it will be Vet, potentially.
I think
somebody.
I think this is like, it's interesting that they chose this too, because I guess, and I could be wrong, but I guess almost everyone has killed Torian.
That was so here's a little poll. Comment, like and subscribe, and in the comments below, we want you to put, who did you kill, Torian or Vet? And Seema's hypothesis is that what are you going to say, 90%, 95%?
Like 99.94444.
99 to 44 100ths?
Yeah.
The same purity as Dove soap?
I think it's Ivory soap.
Ivory, is it Ivory? Yeah, I think it's Ivory soap. Ask your great grandparents of that reference. Burma shave. So spoiler again. I guess this is a spoiler back to Knights of the Fallen Empire, Knights of the Eternal Throne. I killed Torian. Most people probably killed Torian, but Seema didn't kill Torian. So yeah.
No, because he was my husband.
Yeah. So.
But I was mad about it because at the time, I don't know if this is true or not, but at the time I felt like it was like the writers saying, you guys want to complain about us not giving you significant choices? Well, here's a choice. How do you like that?
Bang, yeah.
I don't know. So I never want to decide.
They're all dead. How do you like that? Like, you like apples? How do you like them apples? Yeah.
Okay, so Quinn, Okay, that is actually one thing I thought about is what if there's a skip that saves Torian? So there might be more Torians
So,
out there
and
that
I
I'm aware of
Yeah,
because
so
like
that
yeah.
aside, if you made the choice, not if it was the choice is made for you, but if you made the choice, did you choose vet or did you choose Torian? Respond to our poll that doesn't exist. Put the comments in somewhere. Get in our Discord. We'll pick a winner at random and give you a Opal Volptilla pet code if you respond to me that way somewhere. I will try to track all of those down. Okay, right now I'm making this up. Go into our Discord. By the end of tonight, I will have a vote there. We'll have a T for Torian and a V for Vet. You click on the one you killed. I'll make it clear. We'll put it in the SEPC channel in our New Overlords Discord. Join the Discord, newoverlords.com/Discord, and I will pick at random from anybody that votes either one of those in our little poll. Remind me to put this. I'll do it in the post show. And I will give a Opal Volptilla pet code to one random person out of that group. Maybe a couple. I don't know. We'll give out some pet codes. One for Vet, one for Torian. I don't know. Something. But yeah, so there you go. Wow, we're going late, but we're just sort of goofing off tonight, getting ready for 7.2. It's a party. Woohoo! Announcements alongside the 7.2 date. We'll reiterate this when we talk about the 7.2 announcement itself, but this confirms coming for the 13th, coming for Tuesday, Life Day. Woohoo! Life Day, excellent. Double XP will be starting on the 20th. And they said end date is not even decided yet. So we're getting double XP, and, which a lot of people are asking for, soon TM, so we don't know exactly when it's starting, but a collection sale. Cartel Unlock Collections sale. That is really useful. You get those collections unlocks at a discount. If you're getting something, you're buying something, you be able to unlock it for your legacy. I love that's what I save up cartel coins for, is unlocking stuff for my legacy.
This year, Huggin' Wookiees is being raised to 75,000.
Yes, confirmed. 75, 99 and 44 100ths Wookiees. Not confirmed. Which is news just in that's not confirmed.
And you have to do it twice.
Our news is accurate every time, 60% of the time.
Yes, right.
All right. Guild and community news. We went over most of that, what we did for MFNs and stuff. So we could maybe skip that. Shout out to the Discord and chat, which is very busy tonight. Thank you, everyone who's in there and chatting it up. I think I'm gonna add some of the chat back onto the window in the YouTube video too, so that people that are just watching the YouTube can see some of the good conversation going on. I'll figure out how to do that in the next week or two, get that going for the new year. But we really appreciate it. And if you're watching the replay on Twitch, you see some of that stuff going.
And I want to say something too for the in the community section too, is like when you're in our Discord voting. Also, would you please make a comment about what one of your favorite things that happened in 2022?
Yes, we'll start
favorite
a separate
Star Wars: The Old Republic thing. Like or at least tangentially related.
You know what we're gonna do by the end of the year, as we always do, is we do our end of year. This is what 2022 looked like. Here's some of our favorite things that happened. And then we'll do our 2023 predictions. So help us out with that as well. And we will give you a big virtual high five for that as well in some way. Okay. How about a little bit of this, Seema?
Power will be yours if you are willing to burn.
Showdown on Runuk.
Runic.
Showdown on Runuk.
I'm just gonna pronounce it Runic, like the word RUNIC. So Runic.
And I'm gonna say it different every time, because that's what I do. Let us talk about a few different things. So let's talk about some of the high level things. We will definitely show and talk about the teaser trailer, which I thought looked really, really good. It's just like a little 36-second teaser clip when we get to the story part. But let's talk about some of the other things. We just want to remind ourselves before Tuesday of what's coming and make sure we've got our virtual ducks, our space ducks, our Star Wars, our hut ducks. What's it? Is there like a Star Wars duck creature? Let's make sure we've got our ducks in a row. I think I wanted to, so I've got my notes in here on the PvP stuff. I did want to do a shout out. Zam put her notes together just a couple days ago on her take on what the point of view on the PvP updates comes down a little bit more on the side of the ranked PvPers, even more than, again, we're on your side as well, but saying, hey, this is a harsh thing. So we get that. Check that out. This is coming though, 7.2. This will give us a chance to experience PvP in the new world. Everyone together, all together now. We'll have a season reward track. We'll have the new arena, which is the Odessan. Oh no. Oh yeah, no, it's Odessa. It's Odessan. It's one of those damn whole planets.
What are we talking about right now? I was
The
listening.
new arena, the 4v4 arena
Oh.
for PvP. It's Odessan.
I do not know.
Which has the
Was
moon
not tracking
Duxon.
that.
The Duxon's planet. It's not. Is it on? It is. Is it Andron?
Andron. Okay.
Is it Andron? Look, I'm already out of the game. It's not Osis. We were on
It's
Osis tonight.
Andron.
It's Andron. Andron. Not Ondesson. Thank you, Machete. I really appreciate that. So that's coming. We'll get to see and play it and get the feel for it to some degree and see where things are at. And then see from there what we might be able to do, get some of that ranked feel back for the future and maybe provide some of that desire, what you'd like to see, maybe some things that could work within the new system or adjacent to the new system. See what might be possible. Big thing that's coming, of course, though, is the story. So now let's take that. I don't know why. Oh no, there was a couple of things I added in there. One more bullet. Don't forget we've got the UI updates, like the map change that's coming. We've got the colorblind modes that are coming. We've got some of the class changes that are coming. We have, and you mentioned this in the what you've been doing this week, Seema. We have the inventory change that's coming that will give us a window when we go to disassemble that will have another box here for things you just want to delete. If you look at my inventory here on my mercenary, I've been wanting to delete this stuff. This is a cosmetic gear that I pulled out so that I can have it in my inventory when I copy my character to the PTS. This is my pro tip for if you're copying a character, grab what you want out of collections because your outfits and stuff don't come along with you. So grab what you want out of collections so that gets copied over because collections doesn't come either. Then you'll be able to put your nice, good-looking character together on the PTS because it's always better to look good than to feel good. And so,
Of course it is.
then you need to delete that stuff because you don't need that sitting in your bag. I've been waiting. I've been waiting now for weeks. Waiting to delete that until this comes on Tuesday, because then I'll be able to delete it and I won't have to drag each thing out one at a time to delete all that stuff in my inventory. So there you go. Okay, so we are getting new features. We're getting the updates. We're getting the PvP changes. We're getting the user interface changes. We're getting the colorblind modes. That's a bunch of really cool stuff. Then we're also getting the story and content parts. So let's talk about that now. First up in the story, let's look at this new Showdown on Runic video, which I did want to see again. I was most impressed, but you are not a Jedi yet. Let me unmute this. We'll play it, and then I'll tell you what I was most impressed by.
Shay Visla, come and face me. Gladly, pretender.
There we go. So I was most impressed, just off the top, with the quality. The quality of the renders. We'll mute this out. The quality of the renders. This is only 1080p version of this playback. That's the highest quality that they put out there. Was just 1080p. So it's not like it's even a 4K render or anything, but the quality of the textures just seems a lot sharper and better. Maybe I'm mistaken, but it seems a lot sharper than typical for these in-game created cutscenes. And they'll create this or they'll take it out of other in-game cutscenes. They'll splice pieces together. They'll stage some of it. Dan has done some of this kind of work in the past. So that was the first thing. I thought that was really cool. Certainly like this clash that we see between Hedicole and Shay Vizsla. So that's the core of the story, right? We're getting to see what's up with this culmination. I expect it's going to be the culmination. Do you think it's going to be the end of the Mandalorian storyline, Seema?
I don't think so. No, I think it's going to bleed back into the Malgus story because he's after, what's her name?
Maybe it won't be. So maybe,
Bahar is who I was trying to
well,
refer to.
yes, I think. Well, that piece definitely is going to continue. You're right.
Right.
I just wonder if this whole Mandalorian subplot is going to kind of come to a conclusion here, and then but there still will be the rest of the story that need. I hope we're getting back to the rest of
I
the story pretty quick, and I'd love to
I hope
see
we are
a piece
too,
of it.
but I kind of think I don't know that we've had side stories like this with an ending, so I won't be surprised if it does come to an ending and like Shay comes back and she's like ready to, you know, be part of the main storyline again. She's like, I did my thing. Mandalorians are cool now. Or
Yeah,
if it's somehow going to just weave back into the what I'll call I guess the main story.
if right, yeah, you're right. I think it could. It could go either way. It could. Either way, the story continues because there's the Sahar's brother, Malgus. There's all of that kind of stuff that's still going on. So this could come to a clash between Hedicole and Shay Vizsla. We've got mysteries that we still need to solve. Some of that came up in the short stories. We don't really know where Hedicole's originated from. We don't know what her origin story is. Shay Vizsla's confused. So either we learned that here, it comes to a conclusion, Hedicole gets taken down, but Sahar and her brother go off and stuff with Malgus then is we're sort of like back to that storyline. Or there's a clash, we discover some of that, and Hedicole escapes, and this, that all continues and maybe merges in with the Malgus storyline. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting. Regardless, the story here that we've gotten so far, and this is why we keep saying Ra'anuk, is that this is the
Yeah.
planet. This is the planet that Hedicole has taken over. She's gotten multiple of these rebel Mando clans together. They're all on Runahik, the planet, because they decided to lock it down in this much the same way that Denova was locked down in explosive conflict by our friend. Oh, why am I going? Kefis. For the first time that we encounter Kefis. So he got the planet of Denova. In this case, we're getting this new planet that we'll be able to come back to, and we're going to have dailies on. So I think that is really cool. We will get the story chapter kind of little beats on Runuk. We'll get, as we saw in these cutscenes, we're probably going to hear a little bit about Sahar and her brother. We do get characters that were previewed in the trailer of Lana Vizsla. Lane Vizsla?
Lane Vizsla, yeah.
Lane Vizsla. I always thought I spelled that wrong. Lane Vizsla and Kur Harangir as two new characters sort of on either side of this conflict as well that are going to be part and parcel to. So maybe they're going to be the sort of like the driver of this, and Hedeko is still going to continue to be a figure coming out of this, because they're definitely front and center on the pieces of the story that you're going to be working on, including the rep that you're going to be working through as you continue to do dailies on Ronok. So then we get the dailies and the weeklies. We get a couple other things on the planet that are going to stick. We get, this has sort of been described in the cutscenes and a couple other things that they've dripped out. They're going to be giving us this idea of these Mando relics that we'll be able to track down in some way. I didn't do it on the PTS, so I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to see what it looks like. But from what I understand, they're kind of like the power-ups that you get when you go do Manon, the new Manon daily area, where you can go back and you can get that little extra action bar of extra power-ups, and you get to pick the ones you want. And getting those helps you get the dailies done. That's the way these Mando relics sound like they're going to work. So if you do go seek this and get it done, you'll then have an easier time. You'll have this little extra buffs that you'll be able to use to go get dailies
Yeah.
done in the future.
It's similar to the ones that you can do now on Manon, which I think is pretty brilliant, because the problem they were faced with before, which I've used to my advantage over and over again, is how to make some. What they try to do with dailies is make the amount of time it takes you to do it and the reasonable amount of effort and time match the rewards. But if you have an ability like stealth that enables you to do it in a fraction of the time of classes that don't have stealth, how do you balance that? And this is sort of making it so that they can design these encounters like everybody has stealth. For instance, on Manon. Like, they haven't said that stealth would be one of the ones on Runic, but
Right.
maybe it will be.
Right. Yeah, that would be interesting. So we'll get that. We'll get the Mando relics. We'll get a Datacron to go after. I've heard that Datacron is a fun one. Nice little puzzle, difficult one to get to. That's going to be a fun thing for groups and guilds and everybody to both figure out and track down, and a bunch of guides I'm sure will get put together on that. We'll get the new world boss. So it sounds like a Balrog, but it doesn't look like a Balrog. They delved too deep and too greedily. I saw here on Volk, Volk had some pictures of it. It looks like a fire basilisk of some kind, little molten fire basilisk that you get to fight in some way. So it sounds fun. Can't wait to get in there with our guild, mandatory fun night, and go kill that world boss. And then the dailies. We'll get the dailies. The reputation that you're building by doing those dailies. We also saw, and I think we've got it here. I think I've got it up in the, yeah, here we go. Here's some of the decos that you can get in the reputation track for the Runukan, Runukan Rock Crusher deco and the Runukan Excavator deco. I don't know why I get it. This is like the little kid in me with
Yeah.
like a Tonka trucks, or go see the big construction equipment outside and you're like, ooh, go look at the truck. That's apparently what I'm doing here, because I really like these. I went and looked at them on the PTS. I think they're constructed well. And I think if go back and watch our video where we went onto the PTS, or experience it yourself on Tuesday, apparently. No, just watch our video. Don't play the game. Only watch. No play. We gush over Runuk, the planet. It's definitely a cut above. They've taken steps to increase the quality level, the texture level, the detail level. They're getting more out of the engine these days. They're stressing the game further. They probably can, now that it's been 9 years later, assume that everyone has higher level of graphics capabilities, PC capabilities. They're definitely taking advantage of that, and everything looks really good. It's some of the best looking stuff. As we've seen the textures on the characters themselves, new characters as they've been introduced, like even at the time they introduced Tawader, for example, We see that with Sahar and her brother, the textures and the way, the way they're detailed, the pores on their faces, that looks really good. That's now bleeding over into all of the models in the world that they're creating as well. So love it. Anything else on the story and Anuk that we get
Just
to?
just that somebody, I hadn't really thought about this, but somebody commented in chat that, maybe we'll see Malgus bust out of his prison.
Yes. I would love to. This is what I'm hoping for, is like a little bit of a, here's the Runuk stuff going on. Here's the Hedakol, Shea Vizsla, the Clash or whatever. You kind of wrap that up, and then there's like a little tag at the end. The little like the thing that pulls you back to the Malgus branch of the story, and you're like, yeah, he's either breaking out or about to break out, or some commentary that like starts to merge these things back together. And we at least hear about Malgus, if not see Malgus do a little thing, even if it's only for like 5 seconds. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. Here's a fun topic. Definitely want to talk about this. The gear. We're also getting the gear upgrade. So the gear tiers are upgrading. Almost everything that was going to 330 or even 328, like the Taiwanese gear, almost all of those gear sets are going to 336 now. The upper level gear, the 340 stuff, the vet mode R4, that's still out there. But Taiwanese, Kalomi, Rakata, that's all going to 336. The mods that you'll be able to get off of Hyde and Zeke on the fleet are going to 336. All of this stuff being 336 means 336 is going to be the new target that everybody should be able to relatively easily get to. How are you going to get to that? So let's talk a little bit about that right now. And this is where the chat room is suggesting hold on to your currencies if you've got them, all of the currencies, because you may need little bits of everything, even if you're going to get the easy way of going through the mod vendors to get what you need. You will likely need to upgrade your legendary implants. Those will likely take a whole bunch of tech frags. So if you want to stock up on tech frags and have some to turn in on Tuesday, if not, just complete your conquest on your individual characters for the week. You'll be getting bunches of tech frags that way. The weekly for GSF and PvP is a great way to get a big stack of tech frags. I think the GSF weekly, for example, gives you 800 tech frags just for completing it. There's ways to get tech frags, but you're probably going to need to upgrade those two with tech frags. Getting everything to 336. The way I'm probably going to do it, there's lots of paths, but this is probably going to be an easy way for everybody to go after it, is to unlock the 336 blue mods and the 336 purple enhancement, which is a separate process on Hyde and Zeke, the vendors on the fleet. What we expect we're going to need to do is the same way it worked before, is you're going to need to bring them a 336 blue piece of gear. Then you'll get the quest from them that says, hey, 336 blue, you're going to need to deconstruct that piece to complete this mission. You deconstruct the piece after you've gotten the mission from them, and it unlocks the 336 blue mods on the vendor standing right next to them. So how am I going to do that? How are you going to do it, Seema?
I don't know at all. I'm going to go and take what I have, look at the vendor, and try to and figure it out from there. Because like I said at the top of the show, when people talk about it to me, I listen very poorly.
So I think there's a couple easy paths to do it. One is you are getting you are getting blue gear off of the non-epic gear from R4. I think if we upgrade that to stuff to 336, if you've got R4 tokens, that I don't think that goes to purple then. I think that's still blue at 336 from R4.
So are you just talking about left side stuff?
No, anything. We could get, I mean, if you've got tokens from R4, you could turn in like 2 tokens and get a piece of 330 gear, or like 328 gear.
I guess I have to look at
and get 330 gear.
Because when I went and looked at the vendors, it was just cosmetic gear. So I stopped thinking about it. So now I have all my R4 tokens. I think I spent some to to find out that it was a cosmetic, and then I
Yeah.
spent some to buy an implant, not an implant, a relic. Um, but I just after that I just stopped spending them.
I will save. So that's a good point though. I'm gonna save my R4 tokens for earpiece and relics. The other ways to get 336 gear is Taiwanese, Kalomi, uh, or Flashpoint gear. All of that goes. Taiwanese and Kalomi are the most clear ones. Those you can take any piece of Taiwanese or Kalomi that's 330 today, or after Tuesday, you could go and get them if you don't have them. Go run a regular uh, uh, a regular operation and get a piece of Taiwanese and Kalomi, and you can upgrade those to 336. So here we go. Um, but also Noble Decurion, Elite Decurion, all of those aren't blue though. So you may need, is Taiwanese even blue? See, now it's getting confusing if they're going to require it to be a blue piece to get the blue 336 mods. Might have to be a piece of Kalomi or a piece of the the Supreme Decurion gear, which comes from Master Mode Flashpoints. So get a piece of Flashpoint gear or get a piece of Operations gear, upgrade it to 336 blue. So yeah, Taiwanese is green. Thank you, chat room. Yes, I was just thinking of that as I was saying it. So Noble Decurion is green because that's the Conquest gear. The Supreme Decurion gear that's coming from Master Mode Flashpoints is a good one to grab a piece of that you'll be able to upgrade to 336. And Kalomi gear is another great one that you'll be able to get to and upgrade to 336. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and I'm going to get either a Flashpoint piece of gear or a piece of Kalomi gear, and I'm going to upgrade it to 336, and that's going to be one of my pieces. The second piece is if I want the purple Rakata level, the purple 336 mods, enhancements. I'm not being very clear, am I? I apologize. 336 blue armorings and mods, 336 purple enhancements. The way you need to do that is you will need to get likely a Rakata gear piece. So what we did tonight is we went to, and I can show you, we went into Nightmare Nephra and we all got our 330 Rakata piece of gear in our bags now that's sitting here that we got off of Nightmare Nephra. If we had waited till Tuesday, we might even be getting a 332 piece, depending on your gear score. But 330 piece, even that is enough because what we'll be able to do starting on Tuesday is upgrade that 330 piece if you've got enough of the OP Catalyst currency, upgrade that to 336. So then I'll have my blue 336 piece that I upgraded either with FP1 stabilizers or with OP Catalysts, and I'll have my purple 336 gear piece. I'll be able to take both of those gear pieces to Hide and Zeke, and I will be able to get a full set of mods, armorings, and enhancements to fill out all of the gear pieces that can use mods, armorings, and enhancements. I just logged myself out again. That will leave then, so we said tech frags for your legacy implants, then mods, armorings, and enhancements for all of the rest of the gear, except for your earpiece and your relics. And those I'll be using R4 tokens to upgrade. Then I'll be full 336. So let me state that all again to be clear. I'm going to either be using Kalomi or Master Mode Flashpoints to get a blue piece that I will upgrade with those currencies to 336. I will also be using a piece of Rakata gear that I'm getting off of Nightmare Nephra, and I'll be using Ops Catalyst currency to upgrade that to 336. I will take those two pieces to Hide and Zeke to unlock 336 mods and a 336 purple enhancement. I will outfit myself every piece that I can with those mods and enhancements. That will leave what we used to call the left side, which will be 2 legacy implants I will upgrade with tech frags, my earpiece, and my relics I will be upgrading with R4 tokens. So there, I'll clip that little bit out. That's the summary. That's how I'm doing it. That's how you're going to do it, Seema. That's what we're going to do.
Okay. I'll
Okay?
ask you again on Tuesday.
Yes. Clear. Clear, clear, clear. All right. And then to wrap it up, as we said, Life Day. We'll start our guild events on Tuesday. Are you ready for snowballs, Seema?
I am. I put them on my
In
bars.
fact, you were already throwing one at me earlier, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
There we go. And I've got, oh, look, she's got her snowball cannon out even. Fancy. And I've got my little snowball. Gonna getting ready, getting your hugging arms all worked out and warmed up for 75,999 and 44 100ths of Wookiees. You gonna be doing that?
I
I did not do it last year. I didn't
well, I will
really
say
tune in.
this. I didn't do it last year. I didn't finish it the first year either. If I do it, I'm going to review the video that a guildie of ours, Elion, made a video that's just about how to hug a Wookiee, like where you have to stand and how to make it sort of smooth for you and
Little
that
trick,
it
yeah.
works every time.
Little trick, yeah. Every time,
The
step up,
yeah,
do it quick.
eh,
How to rotate through instances, how to get it done.
right. So if I do any Wookiee hugging or hooky wugging or something, um, yeah, I'll be referring to that. But I ran out of patience really early in that process, so I don't think I've like matured beyond that between
Yeah,
then and
no.
now, so not sure.
I don't know. I'd have to be really interested in some Netflix binge watch series,
Yeah,
I think, which could
maybe I'll
happen.
watch Andor.
Andor. Andor, you know, two other fun things I'll throw out there. The Wednesday Addams show, Wednesday on Netflix. It's
Uh-huh.
fun. I like it. I've watched like 3 episodes now. My daughter, my college age daughter, loves it. It's it's more young adult, but good. They're doing a good job. And then you have to be a Neil Gaiman fan, but I like Sandman, the series. So there's those two you could go after as well. Tales of the Jedi, that's out there for more Star Wars content. Plenty of stuff, plenty of good stuff. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to do that. There are some of the new decos. I like those snow globes that are coming. Those look cool. But just hanging out on Nar Shaddaa, even if I don't care what I'm getting, I like doing the Nar Shaddaa thing. We're just standing around on the promenade, and everybody on the server is like hanging out there on promenade, chasing down the overheated droids, throwing the snowballs at the overheated droids, so that
Now
you can
that
get
I
the
enjoy
college trees.
perversely. I don't know. I think it's because we're all in chat and we're just,
Yeah, hanging out, chatting it up.
BSing. Yeah.
We're going to do some of our mandatory fun nights that way. Come join us. Anyone on the server on Starforge, Tuesday nights, 10:30 p.m. or 8 p.m. Central. 8 p.m. Central Time is 8 to 10 is when we do our Tuesday night mandatory fun night. And those are always open to anyone on Starforge that wants to come join. And we do have guests from time to time, which I really, really like. So come do that. That'll be fun. Chat room is saying good things about Tales of the Jedi. So check that out. I will also be keeping an eye out and looking for that collection sale. That's always good to take advantage of. Double XP, we'll see if have any characters that need to take advantage of that. More than I need double XP, I need story catch up. I didn't mention it, but if you want to do the story on Rahanuk, you're going to have to have done all of the story of everything else up to that point. So that's going to include.
So
Yep.
I feel bad now because when this came up before, when 7.0 dropped and we had to like be up to date on the story to do that, I could have been doing it a little bit at a time on my pub character, and I haven't been. So now I have that whole gap that I would have to do to play Runic on my pub character.
Yeah. And not only all of the 7.1 stuff, but all of the 7.0 stuff and all of the everything from back on the other O planet with the Hive of the Mountain Queen on it. When Malgus comes back, all of that, you have to do Spirit of Vengeance. You have to do all of those. Is sort of where you need to start. So do it. Everybody should have done it on one side, but on one character at least. But I've done it on a 2 or 3 characters. Trying to do it on lots of characters, it's a long slog. You got to do like 4 or 5 different flashpoints. You're doing uh, the Dantooine. You're doing, um, as I said, Spirit of Vengeance. You're doing
Yeah, it's a lot.
the
It's
shipyards,
something like 7
the
hours of gameplay.
Tawadair, the Tawadair shipyards one. So
What's that
yeah,
expression? Eat the frog. It,
boil the boil the frog.
yeah, no, eat the frog. So like when I when I log in to play first thing, like when you have a big task that you don't particularly want to do that first.
Oh,
Is what the eat the frog
is
is.
that eat the frog?
Yeah,
Huh.
and so like when I log into play, what I could have been doing all this time is a little bit of that task that I don't want to do, and then it would be behind me now, and instead it's in front of me because I didn't do
Yep.
that.
Yep. Yep. So gonna have to do that if you need to catch up. Definitely get caught up.
Instead, I did the opposite, which was wait to feel like doing it.
Right. uh, but there's good stuff. It's all good. So don't sleep on it. Definitely go through it
Yeah.
at least once. Manan.
Oh,
Manan
for
is really
sure.
fun.
Yeah.
Is really good. So get it done. And then coming up soon, I think that's even starting on Tuesday, is the server transfers. Starforge. It's the cool kids server. Come on over. Come on down to Starforge Town, if you know what I'm saying. We'll get you an invite to AIE. And then, oh, didn't mention it, but it was in the stream. In fact, probably have a little bit of video here. We are getting, if you're a fan of just the stuff that shows up in the cartel market itself, we're getting the Pike Syndicate armor that was highlighted in the Book of Boba Fett. We're getting some new weaponry that was done here, showed off really well in the dev stream. Check that out. Be ready for that Master Ors lightsaber that was constructed in real life uh, by Bradley Lewis, which that was a really cool part of that stream. So check that out as well. Anything else, Seema? Are we all good for Tuesday? Are you
I think I'm ready. I mean, I got
prepared?
my snowball cannon, so I'm ready.
Sweet. Seema is prepared. Are you prepared? I am prepared. I am ready. I am ready. Can't wait. Glad it's here. Tons of stuff to talk about. We're gonna have tons of good episodes coming up. I'm sure we'll do an episode on the dailies. I'm sure we'll do an episode on the world boss. Gonna have some fun going on probably well into the next year at this point. So that's cool. With that, I think we can wrap it up. Kick our EPC droid out in airlock. We got, what are we up to? 449, I think we are. That's excellent. All the feed and
Crazy.
subscribe links are available on newoverlords.com and on YouTube/newoverlords. Remember, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to create that poll in our channel if you killed Vet or if you killed Torian. So, and we'll give away a pet code associated with that. I'll leave that going through the weekend so that the people that are downloading this later can get to it. You can also come chat with us in our Discord, which is at newoverlords.com/Discord. Follow on Twitter at MaxTheGray or our channel tweet handle at The New Overlords, and we'll keep you up to date there on all of the cool things we do, both for Star Wars and for Behind the Games. And if you are transferring characters, you're transferring to Starforge, do it. Catch us at
Yes.
Iacta Est, our guild. You can get to our guild website at aie-guild.org. The Discord link for that is in the upper right of the guild website right there. We've got some fun stuff coming up for the guild wide in January. There's going to be a fun little guild event that you're going to hear about soon as well for the entire guild and for entire community, I should say. And then we've got our fun SWTOR guild stuff on both the Republic and the Imperial side on Starforge. Jump in. We'd love to get you an invite. Get guests in there as well on Starforge any Tuesday night. And with that, we will talk to you soon.
Late, everyone. Take care of yourselves.
Press the wrong button.